I'm going to quickly go over one of the problems from the quiz that was most missed. And so the question that came up on the quiz number 2 on one of the sites, which measure of spread could you use for class 1? Explain. And so what I was looking for on that problem is once you created the box plot, given the 5 number summary we have here, here's an approximate box plot that matches these numbers where you have the min, Q1, Q2 or the median, Q3, and then the max. And so this question of which measure of center would you use? The first thing is you have to acknowledge or recognize, what am I asking for? A measure of center is a measure, or a measure of spread is a measure of dispersion. And so there's a rule we had in chapter 2.4 that's in the PowerPoint. It's also in the note sheets, which I talked about and which got talked about, is if the distribution is symmetric, we use the standard deviation. That's a measure of spread or measure of dispersion. If it's symmetric or bell-shaped or normal, we also then would use a mean for its central tendency or measure of center. Again, it's very similar to what we did in a previous lecture where what do we use? When do we use the mean, median, and mode, right? Which measure of center is most appropriate? Mean is when it's symmetric, median when it's skewed, mode when you're looking for something that's the most, or if it's qualitative. So we have the rule, if the data is skewed, we would then use the interquartile range instead of the standard deviation. So in this case, depending upon your description, if you say this is skewed, then your answer should be interquartile range. If you say this is symmetric, or approximately symmetric, then you would say that you would use the standard deviation. So either one of those answers for the quiz, depended upon which distribution you described class 1 as.